Well, get it back. It's a good meeting. Still Saturday. Still the 13th. What was the meeting about? I talked for a while too. I don't know. My mind is blank. But it was a good meeting. A lot was shared. And I'll probably remember what it was about in a little bit. But I'm not right. I'm not there anymore. I'm here. Um, I guess it was about. I remembered how I started talking. Oh yeah, yeah. It's about how no one's too smart for. You can't think your way out of addiction, and no one's too smart for recovery or something like that. I forget. It was in a read. It was in one of the readings. But anyway, I started off by talking about how I never knew about being okay. That it was okay to be okay, and it was okay to be not okay, and I was okay as is, and I didn't need to always have to feel like I needed to be somebody else for other people. That I was already okay. I just didn't know it and all that. So, in a room like that, I don't know how well that goes over, but I didn't really pay attention to how well it was being received. I wasn't looking for cues amongst anybody to see if people were nodding or agreeing, and because sometimes, I know because I've heard, it's like sometimes I'm getting a bad reception, and it's like I could swear that it's like, yeah, I'm probably being made fun of, and that's fine too. I don't, yeah, I don't want to be made fun of, but I'm sure it happens. But and I don't feel good about, it's like, oh well, who's talking? No, I don't. I feel just kind of, I don't feel responsible for anybody else, but I just know that, everybody has the same chance as I did, and those that don't, you know, understand the severity of the situation they're in, at this stage, they will most likely, if they go back to their old ways, just compound what they've already gotten as far as consequences, which have brought them there in the first place. It'll just get worse. So either they, learn what they need to learn and straighten up their lives, or they'll get more of what they're used to. Same goes for me. So it's like whatever I don't learn, I will be shown again. And it's like, oh my God, I wish I understood some things better, but apparently I don't. That's how it feels like, at least. I'd like to think that maybe I'm making progress, but it's hard to tell. So anyway, it was a good meeting. Who knows what anybody else was doing afterwards. I just, of course, just laughed. There's a few people that, I have my ways of acknowledging people and then just leaving. And that's all anybody ever expects of me. I don't, anything more, it's like, and it's cold out. I don't want to stand outside and, small talk? I don't think anybody really does that anymore, since it seems like people used to do it more often. Maybe it's just because it's cold. Let's go with that. But then, even before then, people were kind of stopping. I don't know. I don't like to think it has any. I don't think it has anything to do with me stopping. It's like, who knows? But I just knew for me it wasn't working. So I was like, yeah. So, and the other thing I have to talk about, I don't really want to, and it's only fair, I'm not brave enough at the moment. So I'm like purposefully living, on this side of having not, read what I'm going to be reading in a little while. I saw what it was, because it was while I was sleeping. I was taking my nap, and when I woke up, I was like, I hadn't seen anything, so I was like, well, I'll check. Oh, uh-oh. And that's my thought. My thought process is, uh-oh. It's like I'm in trouble. And but really, dang it, I'm in trouble for thinking my thoughts or feeling my feelings, or it's like, no. And admitting them, no. I mean, they might not be reciprocated or appreciated or what's the word? Welcome. But I am entitled to my thoughts and my feelings, but maybe lesser on the side of grace and tact, and I shouldn't throw around my thoughts and my feelings so casually, but I don't think I do. I try to keep things with a quality of reserve, and then also like respect and dignity and all that stuff. I don't know how any of it translates. I just know what the words mean to me and how I feel, and I know that they're true. So, well, still true. That hasn't changed. I mean, that's just my sense of things, but I still don't, I still don't really know the individual. I don't know them. I just know the sense from the communication. And it's not even that much of a communication or a conversation. It hasn't even been that long. It's just, and there's all sorts of, like even early on, all the, red flags and warning signs. But that was touched on, and like moved forward, anyway. It's like reservations, and I don't know exactly how all that went down, but kept moving forward. And at some point, it's like maybe, I guess, I don't know, but I'm at where I am at now, and stuff has happened, and I've been writing and been doing this, and I think this was maybe it was done. I had my reasoning, my line of thinking, and I think that was okay at the time. But then it took a shift, and stuff happened, and my thinking, left to my own devices and left my own thinking by myself and my perceptions. I think I got askew, or maybe I got more on track. I don't know. I think now I'm getting back on track just by myself. And I was even thinking about that sort of rationale. I don't know if there's any sort of comparison, but one of the people over there, I think they're doing better without me being a part of their life. They really, really seem to think that I should be a part of their life. That their life would be better with me in it, and me being their friend, like how I used to be their friend, just hanging out and talking and stuff, and giving them my attention and time, and sharing stories and stuff like that. But it just got to be too much for me. And so they, always welcome to be their friend again. But I don't want to be their friend again. That's the thing. So, and I think they're doing better, because I think I was doing their recovery for them or something. And they were like, well, as long as I'm doing okay, they were doing okay. Because they were like basing how well they were doing on how well I was doing. or something. And they never talked, and they never shared, and they never seemed to be making progress on their own. They were just kind of riding on coattails or something. I don't know. It's kind of like how I always was kind of following my brother, riding on his coattails, kind of leeching. It's not a nice word, but it is kind of what I was doing. He would find the connections, and and he would make the inroads, and then I would tend to, I would have to stand up for myself and make my own case, and then apply myself and do the thing on my own. But he would usually make the introductions, so I never had to talk for myself to make the introductions. It was like I was always his brother, so that's how it was. Of course, he was the older brother, so it's kind of like it was assumed that he would be the one that would, lead the way or something. I don't know. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. But anyway, that guy, he's doing better without me. He's having to think for himself, and he's having to grow on his own, and he's experiencing his own ups and downs, and I don't know, I guess he's getting through them okay. I've seen little, things happen, and I thought, like, oh, that's not good. But no, it was just, emotional, remnants, showing themselves, like how it is for me, same thing. But I'm glad I hit record. I always thought for a second that I forgot to hit record, and I was just talking to myself. Of course, that's what I'm doing anyway. So. It is recording. I can see the time. So anyway, yeah, I am a little bit terrified of reading what I'm going to be reading. A response to what I wrote. So it's like, it's only fair. They read what I wrote, so I'll read what they wrote. Gosh. Things are usually worse than what I make them out to be. I have real problems with that. So now I'm just stalling. Yeah. But I've already talked about it. That, I didn't lose anything, ever. I've only been gaining, that whole thing about experience and, can't lose something I never had. And, it's like I don't even know what it is I'm looking for exactly. I just have a sense. That's all. And also, all I really wanted was the conversation, but I don't want the conversation if it's not wanted. So it's not like, because you had that happen where it's like, well, what did you want to talk about? And it's like, oh. And it's kind of like hostile and argumentative and combative. And it's like, okay, well, never mind. And it's like, well, why did you make such a big deal about it then? It's like, oh. So, I don't know. That's happened before. So, I don't know. I only know things based on my own personal experience of life and the people that I've met. And I have, the types of people I have met are like, there's like probably like so many types of people, and I've met like so few types. And so it's like, I get scared that people are a certain type that I've met before, and and I know what happened. So it's like, I try to give everybody that I meet, you know, they could be a brand new type, a type that I've never met before. So I have no idea what to expect from them. You know, I don't have any determined knowledge or insight into how they react or do things or think things. They have totally different ways of thinking that I am unfamiliar with and have no standard of comparison with or frame of reference to. And I'm trying to figure it out in advance, and I have no ability to figure it out in advance because I have no precursor. I have no inference model. So it's like all fresh. And that's probably part of the reason why there's the fear and that being terrified, because I don't know what is going to have been in that. And but based on past little experiences where I, with the same person, it's like, I'd be like, uh-oh, you know, where I've said something or written the whole thing, and it's like, and I've forgotten what I wrote, but I remember it was good. It's just, if it was misunderstood, it could be bad. And they got it. There wasn't any miscommunication. They just got it. And so I thought that was cool. You know, they got where I was coming from and how I meant it. And it's like, and like this time, it's like, I hope they get it. You know, it's like I just don't want them to go away. That's the main thing. I want the conversation to continue in some capacity. It doesn't have to be like, you know, any, it doesn't have to have any sort of constraints or definition to it. It can just be, let it live and develop into whatever it develops into over a period of time. It doesn't have to have any sort of definition on it or name on it. It can fade into nothing, or, you know, just evolve into, who knows? But I just don't want it to go away. I like being a part of something. And it feels special. And regardless, I know I'm special on my own. All that fun stuff. But anyway, I really enjoyed the conversation. And it helps me. So, selfishly, yes, it helps me. But I think that part is, at least I like to think, and I think it is. So, but I can be exhausting. I know that. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That I have a lot of energy that I didn't used to have because I was always sedated, on purpose by my own choice, because I couldn't handle my own self. Who knows why? But so it's like I have energy that I didn't used to have, and I feel like I have desire and purpose and a sense of will, and I use that for, you know, different things that I do. And I apply myself and I put myself wherever I am. So I think that's part of the reason why people are curious about how I am the way I am. It's like, where did you get all that energy from? You must drink a lot of coffee or be on something. It's like, nope. Well, I do drink a good amount of coffee, but that's not the reason. But it is also one of the reasons why I need to be alone so much. It's to recuperate from myself and my exhaustion of being me and dealing with how I think. Because to run, you know, like, the caloric, like the energy that this thing runs, it's like it takes so much energy to fuel. And it's like, people wonder, we're like, where did, as much as I eat, because I eat a lot. Well, I mean, for a person my size, you'd think I wouldn't eat as much, but no, I eat a good bit. It's like, why did you know, people have commented. It's like, well, I run. I don't literally run, but I move a lot. So, yeah, we're running out of time. So, anyway, I think I've said everything. I like to try to say everything that I can. And in this case, it's very important that I got the chance to say everything that I wanted to say before I read what I'm going to be reading. Because now, because I will never have been able to go back to a time before. So, this is now, before. And this is authentic, you know. And this is me. So, it's basically as real as it gets. One take. And the timing of everything, it's just on, I don't know, it's just, it just happened to be around this time. It didn't mean anything. You know, as far as like, just the way things worked out. And I also had a comforting thought, you know, that whatever it is that I'm worrying over, or deliberating over, or stressing about right now, or today, or this week, or this month, or this year, you know, this time next year, I'll be worrying over, stressing over, deliberating over something entirely different. And whatever it is that I'm thinking about right now will have turned out the way it is going to have turned out, and it will have worked out in some way, making room for what will have been to have been able to happen, which might be a continuation of whatever's going on now, or it could be something totally different. But I don't know that yet, and I will never know it, you know. So, yeah, everything that I'm doing now is making room for later, which is going to have been now. Yes. I say that better sometimes, but this time it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So, yeah, anyway, I'm stalling again. I guess I should go. Yeah. I don't want to. I'm like holding on to this moment. Like fingernails on the edge. There is that moment when rock climbing where your strength just gives out and you fall. It's not a good feeling. Those moments before, because you know you're about to fall. You just hope it doesn't hurt too much. But you know it's going to hurt. Anyway, on that happy note, okay, I'm going to go now.